We'll move on to number two. The only thing I have that I want to bring to everybody's attention is it is definitely an open forum. If anybody has any topics you would like to add on the agenda, it's definitely an open invite. So please feel free to send me an email if you would like something to discuss, something that you feel that needs to be discussed that we have not discussed, or if you have any ideas that you would like to share with the body. That's basically what I have for that.
Sounds good. I just want to quickly add, this meeting is being recorded for GCTV and will be posted at a later date. If anyone in the audience is recording, please let us know at this time, which I don't see anyone else in the Zoom, so I think we're clear.
Okay, and the call to order is going to be done by none other than Matt because we don't have a clerk yet. Thank you, Matt.
Yep, no problem. Empress,
Present.
Becky,
I'm present.
okay. Quinn,
Present.
Grady,
I'm here.
and Lance.
And I'm here.
And Kathleen appears to be absent today. I believe she said she would be in her email correspondence.
Okay. Becky, you're next up on the list to see if there's any guests or anybody here.
I don't think we have any guests.
Right. I'm actually flipping back and forth the screen, so sorry about that.
No worries at all.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Empress. I don't know if anybody else is. A little bit. Like I can hear you some, and then it seems like kind of garbled. So I'm just having a little bit of a hard time hearing all of what you're saying.
Maybe if I know, like sometimes it's like that in other meetings too, but like if the extra microphones are muted, because sometimes if too many mics are open, it tends to get some back static. But next up is the approval of the February 12th minutes. Thank you, Matt, for sending those out to everybody.
I'll just amend real quick. It's both February and January because I did forget to submit the January ones for February. So I sent both, I think it was January 8th and then February 12th as well.
Okay.
Yes, I see that.
Yep. So we're a motion to approve them one at a time or both at once. Is there any?
You would be fine to motion to approve both at once if that's the avenue you choose.
I so move.
Okay, yeah. Motion to approve the minutes from January and February. Matt, are we going to roll call as well?
Yep. Empress?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Quinn?
Yes.
Grady?
Yes.
And Lance?
Yes.
Motion's approved.
Awesome. Next, we have the update from the mayor's office. We'll turn it over to Matt.
Oh, excellent. So it's been a very busy month. We're in the kind of heat of budget season, and it's been almost like a month and a half now since we've last met. So a lot has happened. I think the thing that's most exciting to highlight, at least for on the human rights front, was our recent announcement of extending the accessibility of many of our local boards and committees. A lot of these were previously not hybrid or previously not recorded at all. And so far we've worked to implement the planning board, the zoning board of appeals, the board of assessors, the board of health, and a few other boards and commissions that are now going to have a hybrid meeting model, and all their meetings are now recorded. So that was a big benchmark for Mayor Disorder when entering office. We worked with the boards and commissions and to really getting that done. And we were thrilled that only 2 months in, we were able to announce that. So that was a great kind of win for accessibility. And I can just speak for the mayor. She really wants to create and support a government that is open and transparent and accessible to everyone. And I think this is just really a great first step in that process. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Matt. Next up, Becky, did she disappear?
Yeah, she suddenly disappeared. I'm sure she's gonna rejoin, but I saw she just vanished for a second.
Okay, so we'll just jump down to number 9, which is Gloria Matlock City Hall ceremony. Matt, would you like to take the honors?
Yes, so last time we met, we talked about wanting to get momentum moving for the award ceremony, the plaque. So I went ahead and I went to Cleary's first and to see if they did engravings. They didn't, but they had someone local that they recommended to me. So I was able to get that done. It was only $10, so very inexpensive and great to support a local business in that way. And I sent a picture to Empress with how the engraving came out, but I'll put one in the email for everyone. But it came out great. She basically just modeled the same font as the prior ones. But yeah, I was really thrilled to see it when it came. I think she surprised me last Friday with the delivery. So it's great that it's finally done. Now we can kind of leave it in everyone's hands to determine best steps going forward for planning something. Uh, I think sometime in April could perhaps be accomplishable, or, whatever the commission sees fit as to what the ceremony should be. My thoughts were, the mayor will definitely be very delighted to participate. And we'll definitely make sure to reach out to media as well, to be present, because this is, it's kind of like the exclamation point of the HRC Awards. We had the great ceremony, we had the honoring, and this is just kind of, dotting our T's. And it's a great second opportunity to, really reflect on the great work Gloria's done in this community. So I'll leave it at that for now and open it to the floor.
Thank you, Matt, so much. So Matt took care of part B as far as the engraving. So all we really have to focus on, guys, is just like as far as when we could come to a decision or consensus as far as a date when we would like to do that. And as far as I know Matt spoke about like the recorder. I know Lance, you're on the board of GCTV. Maybe if they would like to be part of that, to get some more publicized to the community about what's going on. And yeah, so let's just open it up to discussion. Do we have any ideas as far as a date? I know Matt said something about April. Go ahead, Lance.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe later is better than sooner as far as the weather, and that maybe we should look ahead a little bit down the road. I guess that also depends on when we're thinking about the panel too. But anyway, that was the first thought was like, April can be sort of iffy, and it'd be nice to have it on a day when, we can anticipate weather will be pleasant and nicer, and people can are more likely to show up. First thought, yeah.
What I'll add, so I don't know if everyone has seen the plaque, but the plaque is on the second floor of City Hall, right next to the meeting room. So my thought initially is we could just do some kind of thing there, and then if you wanted, you have the meeting room right there if you needed to do anything after, like if you had any food or whatever. But that was at least my thought, just because then we can have, we can all witness it being, screwed into the plaque and everything, and that could kind of be part of the ceremony and, kind of a cool ceremonial gesture. But that's just my thoughts. I'm happy to go in whatever direction the HRC sees fit.
So it's, basically, that's just my ignorance. I'm thinking plaques of my past of being outside, but this is more of an indoor event. Is that what I'm hearing or not?
Well, that's that. I was just explaining where the plaque is located, but
Right.
Obviously, whatever direction you guys want to take the ceremony is, up to you.
Yeah, because that's kind of like the direction. I was thinking too, respectfully, because I know we had the big ceremony. What was it, October, November? Everything kind of like
December 9th. It was Human Rights Day.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know we had the big ceremony December 9th at the community center. So just to back up a little bit, it's like I was thinking something more confined and private,
Okay.
where like, the commissioners would be there, the mayor would be there, Gloria, and she could invite some of her close friends and stuff like that. and have like, like a photo op with like Gloria and the commissioners, and have Gloria standing by the plaque when her name's screwed there, and just like having some light refreshments in the little conference room right there. But like I said, that's definitely open up for discussion. I don't know if we wanted to go all hands on end again, because like I said, we did do the big event for December, but I was just thinking, to keep it simple and just, have the media there, GCTV, and just, have that out there, that the plaques going on the wall after 7 years. But like I said, it's definitely open up for discussion, however we feel about it together.
Yeah. What you just said, Empress, was like my exact vision of things. So I agree 100%. I think that'd be perfect. But again, open up.
Yeah. I was gonna say that I also agree. I think it would be best to do it low key and just like have a celebration of her where like she can like invite her like family and any of the kids that she taught, and then also just have like a lot of snacks and just like a little get together. Also, like what Lance said about the panel, I think it would be like too soon to try to pull that together and give that more time and have it be its complete separate thing. I think that would be best, like what you were saying, just like a small get together. But yeah, that's my thoughts about it.
Grady, do you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I think something small works better. I mean, we had the big thing a couple months ago, and yeah, more intimate, I think, is good for the recipient.
Okay, Becky, we're gonna jump back to you because I know we lost some connection, but what do you think about that?
I think that that makes a lot of sense, and I think that maybe thinking about a time in the later afternoon, because she has some young people that might want to come along, like Quinn mentioned. So just in terms of looking ahead at afternoon times for the meeting room, that it's available.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I know like during the afternoons, it might be a little tricky with her schedule, because I seen her today, she has like 28 kids that signed up for the after school program. So she picks them up from Federal Street School and keeps them for a couple of hours. So I don't know. Matt, would it be possible maybe doing it on a weekend, maybe? Like
Yeah, we could yeah, I think that can be done.
like-
Whatever works best for Gloria's schedule, we're happy to arrange, because she's busy doing all this great work for the community. I mean, this should be something that's easy and accessible for her and as many people who are close to her to attend. So whatever, honestly, what I think the best approach is, Empress, is just talk to Gloria and get a feel for whatever scheduling preference she has, and then we'll go from there. And as a commission, kind of work along with her preferences.
Okay, sounds good. So at least we have a plan, and I'll follow with Gloria tomorrow.
Yeah,
See her.
and we meet again the 8th, so it'll be a quick turnaround. So we'll be able to still, like, if we can arrange something for end of April, beginning of May, that kind of range, especially since it's kind of a more intimate affair.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too, with that image for sure.
Sounds good to me. Thank you. Now we're going to back up, because there's a special announcement from Becky, our co-chair. Well, first of all, I would just like to say, Becky, I love the little decoration with the purple and yellow flowers they're going on.
Empress, I'm sorry, it's real hard to hear you.
Really? Can you hear me now?
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, that's much better. I don't know.
Okay, so I probably just leaned up a little bit on my desk. So I'm saying, Becky, I love your purple and yellow flowers in your background. But Becky does have the special announcement for the commissioners. So Becky, take the floor.
All right, thank you so much. And as you can see from the side that's not the floral background, I have empty shelves because I will no longer be a resident of Greenfield at the end of this month. So I can no longer be a commissioner because I won't live here. So I'm sorry to leave this, because I really enjoy meeting with you and planning things in the community. And I think that the direction that things have been going, it's really great. And I'm sad to have to step away during this kind of upswing. And I look forward to catching you all on the recordings that I'll still check out. So thanks.
I would just like to back up. Can everybody hear me first? Okay. I would just like to say to Becky, Becky is somebody who I have grown to have the utmost respect for, not just as a firebrand in the community, but also as a friend and somebody who I now call my sister. So, Becky, I know that whatever you do and whatever you touch is going to turn to gold. I appreciate you being my support. You've kept me grounded. When I was losing my head, I thought I was losing my head. You was definitely there, and I definitely wish you the best, and I thank you so much for being part of this commission. You have brought so much energy and positive thoughts, and and I could not have wished for anybody more special than you. So you're a very special person, and I hate to see you go, but I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much. That was really sweet. Thank you.
I won't try to one up Empress's beautiful remarks. I just want to say, taking the time out of your schedule to serve on a board and commission as you all do it is such a selfless act, and can be, some at times frustrating, at times challenging, but you've stepped up over to the plate over the past few years and have been an invaluable member to the HRC, and, all the work that you and everyone else contributed to bring the awards back and getting some of these events together. And, like you were mentioning, steering the HRC into like a, exciting new direction, will be long remembered even after you've left Greenfield. And, it was just great to work alongside you, and I'm wishing you all the best.
Thanks very much.
And with that being said, this is going to be the last meeting with our co-chair. So there's going to be an open position on the Greenfield Human Rights for co-chair. If anybody would like to step up in that position or that role, please reach out to Matt and myself. And hopefully, when's next meeting again? I'm sorry, I don't even have my calendar. April 8th?
Monday, April 8th. Yeah. And we might have a new member joining us. I know they just got voted on by the council and approved. It's just whether they'll be able to swear in time. So we
Okay.
may have a new member present with us for that meeting. If not, then it would definitely be May.
I'm
Okay.
just letting since it's the 8th, let you know I'm not going to be able to come to that. That's the day of the solar eclipse, and I will be out of town for that.
Oh, very cool.
Are you going to that, Grady?
What's that?
Are you going to see it?
Yeah, driving up to northern Vermont for that. I saw the one 7 years ago, so now I'm here for this one.
Good for you.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Well, take pictures.
Yeah, sit in horrible traffic trying to get home, I'm sure, as it was last.
So Matt, well, knowing that, maybe we could talk about maybe postponing it, maybe give it another week, because True, we just had a meeting today.
Mhm.
And respectfully, Grady's not going to be there. And if there is a new commissioner, at least still have a week or whatever to get comfortable for the next meeting. But we could definitely talk about that. But but just for here we are right now, there is an open position for, not yet, but after this meeting, come April 1st, there will be an open position, respectfully to Becky, for the co-chair. If anybody is interested in serving as a co-chair, please reach out to me and Matt, and we could definitely bring that before the commission for our next meeting. If not if the 15th, I'm thinking the next meeting on the 15th.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, to have a vote on the next co-chair. So yeah, but like I said, Becky, you're my heart. I don't need to stress it. You already know that. Next up on the list. All right. Time to think about the HRC panel and discussion. This is something that I know that Quinn is really big on, because and I love that energy, because I know when Quinn first started with the commission, Quinn was very adamant about having a panel discussion about certain topics. And I know our past chair and some of the past commissioners, we was just starting to do panel discussion before the great resignation or COVID, I'll call it. And I think that's great because we definitely had a lot of attendance that came to those panel discussions. As far as a venue and outlet, you already know that we have full access to John Zahn. So we really don't have to look for anything else. So I just wanted to know, I know we have Gloria, like I said, I could email when I speak to her tomorrow as far as a date about that. But that's basically, that's not going to be, that's a no thought process. But as far as the panel discussion, I was wondering if we could come up with like, throughout some dates when you were thinking about doing something. What are some of the topics people like to address? I know there's like 100,000 topics right now. So yeah, so I wanted to open up to the floor as far as what the commissioners thought, as far as when we would like to start these panel discussions and what would probably be our first topic of discussion. So it's open to the floor.
Yeah. When I was working on it back in like November-ish, I did start emailing some people and I didn't get a lot of responses, but the one I did was for the panel about like the environment and stuff. So I think that might be a good one to start with because we already have like a good candidate for that. Since our last meeting, I haven't done that much work with it, but I also want to, this is like kind of a little bit sidetracked from the panel, but I did do some work with John Fotopoulos, and he called me and asked as a human rights commission if we could buy some signs like the ones that you like just put in the ground like at people's houses and have it like stop hate signs and then like sell them to people in the community before like election day in November, like if we could do that over the summer. I just wanted to bring it up and see if that was something we were interested in, but we can talk about that later after the panel stuff, but I thought it would be good to bring up now at our meeting.
What? One thing I'll say with that, Quinn, is I will definitely check with our accounting team if that's something that could be an expense from a city account. Because that when some of these things, it's very annoying sometimes and fickle that, certain things, there's parameters that you can spend on, certain things you can't. So before we get into that, I'll have those discussions tomorrow and let you know what they say.
Okay, perfect. Just email me about it and then we can bring that up again and talk about it at the next meeting.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll just email the whole commission.
And I definitely like the idea, especially around election time, because not just the nation, but the community is so divided. And I like that idea about bringing the communities together, no matter who wins, that we're still a community, we're still neighbors. And I definitely love that brotherly love, sisterly love aspect piece as just a reminder that no matter who wins, there still should be some kind of respect amongst our neighbors. So, I mean, if that's something that the HRC can lead, I think that would be a great human rights statement, because I'm sure there's going to be no matter who wins or loses, there's definitely going to be feelings, but we still have to live amongst each other. So I like that idea. But just to back up another thing that Matt said, I know from experience myself, some things they do approve and some things are not approved, but I would like to see how that actually works. Go ahead, Becky.
Well, I was wondering about any kinds of signs that already might be available to purchase through like a national or international human rights campaign, so that people might be able to like if it doesn't work out through the budgeting here, that people maybe could connect with links and like put those signs in the community that just gets paid to a different entity as a backup.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, great. So question, so are we thinking of a series of panel discussions now, which is great.
Absolutely, Lance.
Yeah,
Yes.
and how many, we got an image of how many and sort of a.
What I was looking,
Sorry.
probably like, it was probably something like quarterly, maybe like 3 or 4 a year, depends on how the quarter falls. I know usually the quarter will be once every 4 months, and that will give us time to regroup and to get some feedback, how the panel discussion went and things like that. So yeah, so that's what I was thinking. We could we could have one like Quinn said. Take for instance, if we had one on environment, we had one as far as stop the hate or anything like that. I know there's some other topics that Grady brought up before, as far as him and his wife, like that. So maybe we could use each of those panel discussions to address those certain issues. I know right now is March, so if we're talking quarterly, that would be April. And right now, probably that would be too close. That's just my opinion, but if there's something that we feel that we could pull together and get some topics and times, and I could talk to John Zahn about getting the date available. Yeah, I'm all for it. It's not, I know everybody has a busy schedule as is. I don't want to put extra pressure. But if it's something that we want to just put ourselves out there and and just start these panel discussions, because like I said, that would be right on time for April. No, am I lying? No, quarterly would be March. So so it'd be March, it would be April, August, December, every 4 months. So it'd be
Well, I think April's coming up pretty soon, right? I mean, so.
Right. So if we looked at that, it would probably be towards the end of August. I'm sorry, the end of April, but it would still fall in line with every 4 months as far as a schedule. But like I said, it's definitely open for discussion, because we would still need a topic and agree as far as a date. But I definitely want to put it out there for something for us to think about, as far as any guests who would like to come, any experts on a certain topic. And this is something for everybody to be involved in, for every commissioner. So Lance, if you had a topic that you would like to bring to a panel discussion, that you think that the community really needs to hear about it, and some people who you would like to invite to come in, even if you felt comfortable talking about it, yes, definitely, yes, that's definitely something. Grady, the same thing. If you feel there's a topic that you feel strongly about, and you have somebody who you want to bring in as an expert speaker, or you could be a speaker and things like that, and we could work with Matt as far as the promotion and advertisement of it, and just and we could all take turns and rotate as far as certain panel discussions, how it will work. But I think this is something great as far as a commission that we could definitely do.
Well, I do, I have spoken with Matt, an issue, and it's controversial, but it's certainly, I think, if we really want to assertively engage in conversations about difficult topics. I had experience when I was in government in Madison, Wisconsin, of working with the Madison City Police Chief, David Cooper, who's now retired as police chief, but was on the front edge of community policing, affirmative action at that point, and trying to engage a police force that had really positive relationships with the entire communities of Madison. And he was an amazing person who's now, after he retired, became an Episcopal priest. But he still is an avid speaker and consultant all over the nation with police forces who are really engaged in trying to really reshape how they do policing in a manner that is really respectful and
Did we lose Lance?
I think we did. I think he might have just lagged out. I'm sure he'll rejoin.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so that's where we are with the panel discussions. Like I said, if I think this is Lance coming back. Lance?
I think it's in the midst of rejoining. He should be on in a second.
I just had to say okay to meeting being recording again. I was wondering, why am I not there? Okay. Anyway, so that's my picture, and that it's certainly not for April, because I think there's something, take some thought and some contact, and if you're, and it may be that this be like a hybrid Zoom main speaker, something to consider. We could do it at John's on. Anyway, that's my pitch. And
I was wondering if, like, I know you're talking about doing it quarterly, but I think that's like probably a lot of pressure to do it that soon. I was thinking maybe like we could do it like bi-yearly, like maybe one in July and then one towards the end of the year. Although if we're doing the human rights thing again, that would be a lot. We could do it in like October, November. But I think with the like the engraving thing, and then we're also going to have Juneteenth coming up, and then I thought you were talking about like a reggae festival or something. It might be a lot to cram in there, but I thought maybe we could do it towards July so we have a lot of time to prep and get expert talkers and decide our panels and get it out to the public. And I think that would be like probably the perfect amount of time to like get it going. And then that way twice a year seems good for, I mean, to me, but like whatever you guys are thinking, but yeah.
So your idea is like July and probably like December might be rough because a lot of people are out of town. Just thinking ahead for like holidays.
Yeah, I think maybe December would be not it, but November maybe. I don't
Maybe
know if
like
that's too
well,
soon. but-
July and January, if you do it biannually, and then looking ahead.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
January is certainly a good month, with Martin Luther King's day, and I think youth is wise here. that really focusing, because it does take a while to put together, and especially with reaching for outside speakers and participants.
Absolutely. So our goal here is like July. So we're gonna look for July to be our first panel discussion. And as far as can we this, or as far as what is that topic going to be, or is this something you would like to discuss maybe in the next few meetings to get something together?
Quinn, you'd mentioned that you had made contact with the person on the environment, like environmental justice, or what? Would you want to like go for that in July? Do you think, is that realistic?
Yeah, I can try to reach out to him again. I was in contact with like an assistant, I think. It was a long time ago. So, but I think
Okay,
they were seemed interested. So I think if we give them enough notice, it would be good to go. And then I think that we could probably come up with some topics right now, but if not, I think we could have a subcommittee with like the event coordination, like the events and community collaboration thing. A subcommittee would be good to like do some planning on this so that it gets like we space out everything and make sure everything's planned, but I don't know if that sounds good.
No, definitely sounds good. I know we have the events subcommittee. I know that you, myself, and Becky was on it. We have another commissioner coming in. Maybe we could table this until they come in, and maybe they would like to serve. And I know that Lance likes to stay in the loop over things. So, we could definitely keep Lance in the loop if he has any ideas or anything like that, and just focus on the environmental portion for July. That definitely sounds good. Everybody agrees?
Yeah, it sounds great. And any city support you need along the way with scheduling or promotion, anything like that, I'm happy to assist with.
And are we thinking just like that one subject for the panel or like multiple? Because I mean, I've never run this before, so I don't know if it's like only one or if we're gonna have like different ones for this one event or something like that.
Hope it would be just the one panel discussion. It would just be about environmental justice.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then I'll start to get in contact with people that would be good for that, and I'll email and let you guys know if I get any yeses, and feel free to try to get in contact with people too, because that would be a great start.
I would say,
Oh,
Empress, you go first. My apologies.
I could actually reach out to Wood Perry, who was actually the clerk of the last commission that we had, because I know he worked with Wendy and myself and Daniel as far as getting speakers, and I could reach out to him through email and try to see what connections that he could give us as far as for the panel to invite guests to come down as well.
Yeah. I was just going to suggest some local options to look into because Greenfield is very lucky to have a lot of great community advocates on this issue. Greening Greenfield, they do, a comprehensive amount of work in environmental justice. And then the other would be, I think the Board of Health Chair, Glenn Ayers, who's also leading the PIP, the Lunt Silversmith public involvement process. And I think that's a great way to tie the subject matter, which is, a very national, worldly thing, also here locally in Greenfield with, one of those, interesting subjects that we kind of continue to follow.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Glenn Ayers was on the tip of my tongue too. So.
Okay, that sounds good. So, but Matt, would you reach out to me and Coin and Lance as far as contact information, and so we could try to
Yeah.
reach out? Okay.
I also
100%.
know this. There's a junior at my school who is on this like regional environmental board, so I could reach out to her as well, and I think she'd be a great person to do it. And I think that's like a good base. I think like all those people would be great on the thing, and if any of them are busy, then we can just go from there. But I think that's a good start. So yeah, definitely email those names.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll do.
Yes, and I just want to back up what Quinn said. I actually had a Kiwanis meeting the other day, and there were two young ladies there from the Key Club that was part of the Key Club, and I was like, "Oh, you know Quinn?" They said, "Yes, we know Quinn." I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Yes, Quinn is so great." So, I definitely love what the Key Club is doing because I know they're involved in a lot of things as far as community. So maybe even if some Key Club members could probably even come to the meeting as well, that would be good as well.
Was Maddie and Stella there? I'm not sure, but
I think that's who it was, Maddie and Stella.
yeah, Stella's the one who is on the board, and she's like the one that I thought would be good for the panel. So it's great that you already know her. I'll reach out to her and see if she wants to come on.
Okay, small world, huh?
Small town or what?
Well, thank you. Okay, so we're going to look at July for our first panel discussion of 2024. I'm very excited about this, and it's going to be about environmental justice. And Matt is going to send out an email with contact, and Quinn is going to speak to some Key Club members. And I think this is going to be a great look. And I know what Lynch was proposing, just for the minutes, is after July, we could look to January. And as far as January, if somebody else wants to take that charge and be in charge of that panel discussion, you have time to think about it. If you have a topic, please, 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 please do not be shy. You're a commissioner. This is what we do. So you're like, okay, I have till July to think of a topic and how we could pull this together. So please put your thinking caps on and let's plan for 2025.
I also just want to let you guys know that as of last week, I got accepted to Swarthmore and Williams. So in August, I will be not in Greenfield anymore. So I won't be able to be here for the January one, but until then, I'll be happy to help plan it. But I just want to let you guys know well in advance.
So are you going to be leaving the commission in August?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Quinn. That's so exciting. And, it's a testament to your knowledge and your hard work in school. Congrats.
Quinn, you are just going to be magical. Okay. Because you're coming with so much experience. So much experience and you're just so mature beyond your years. And I know that your mom and dad are super proud of you. So we are too. So.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, all this emotional stuff. So next up, I hope this brings some joy. I have an announcement for Saturday, April 13th. at 2:30. So after hearing about, Becky's departure and Quinn's departure, I have some news that I have been nominated for Greenfield Citizen of the Year from the Elks Club. So
Yeah, congrats.
Good
That's
job.
incredible.
thank you. So my ceremony is going to be April 13th at 2:30 at the Elks Club. If any of the commissioners would like to be there to support me, I'm definitely putting it out there. Please come. So I don't really like doing speeches. I don't know why people think I'm a people person like that, but yes, if you are available that date, it's a Saturday at 2:30. I would be honored to have any of the commissioners there in my corner. So I just want to put that out there. So yes. Yes, Becky.
I won't be a commissioner, but if you accepted past commissioners, I would love to come and clap for you on the side.
Absolutely.
I will definitely try to make it because that's incredible and incredibly well deserved by someone who has such an indelible impact in our community.
Thank you, Matt. So yes, so thank you. I still need to write my speech, but yeah. So that's that one, and I'll also be speaking at the chamber event, the Franklin County Chamber event in April as well, about Juneteenth. So I have two big speeches. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. And moving on, last on the list, last but not least, Juneteenth update. Number one, this is the third year I'm doing Juneteenth. Like this, that is phenomenal. This is 3 years. Kudos to Greenfield. Kudos for everybody coming together. It is no I in anything. It's us. I always looked at Juneteenth as a community event, and the community has never let me down. This year, however, it's a little different. I'm working with Christian LaPlante and and some of the other organizations as far as who's on the Underground Railroad mural that's being painted on Main Street, different locations. So I'm actually inducting that into Juneteenth. So there's going to be a tour of downtown Greenfield of all the different paintings from 9:30 to 11. And then the parade's going to be from 11 to 12. It's going to start at City Hall and march down to Beacon Field. And Beacon Field is basically going to be from 12 to 5, which is a little later than it was last year because, there's so many more people that's going to be involved. Lava Center reached out because they want to do the reading of Frederick Douglass, the Frederick Douglass speech. So how the Lava Center is going to do it, they're actually going to pass around the mic to have community members read parts of the speech as well to engage the community members in that. Another great thing is I reached out to the state senator Joanne and also the attorney general Andrea to see if they could come as well. I know that the Chamber of Commerce has really been involved as far as helping me push this more so instead of just a Greenfield, even though the Greenfield would be the blueprint of it. This would be the foot, this is where it is, but to make it more regional this year and going forward. So that way it could be more supported through Franklin County. So instead of just Juneteenth, Greenfield Juneteenth would basically emerge as Franklin County Juneteenth, which would be great for Greenfield. So I'm really excited where it is. Right now, where it stands, I have about 55 vendors, which is more than what I had from last year. I don't know how I maintain that and work and a mom and everything like this, but for some reason, after April 1st, I have a very good job where Greenfield Savings Bank just lets me focus entirely on Juneteenth. So that's my job. So I'm very lucky to have a job that supports me in that as far as seeing the bigger picture. And also like Quinn was saying, that beat me to the punchline. I'm also bringing Greenfield their first Reggae Fest, August 11th at Energy Park. The big reggae artist, Michael Palmer, who's been around from the 70s and 80s, who everybody knows is going to be here. I have a guitarist coming. I have a poet coming. I have a hula hooper coming. Oh, I'm sorry. And for Juneteenth, I also have a hula hooper coming. I have a fire thrower who wants to be involved as well. So I'm working with the fire department because I already got the okay that I could have her there. So she's getting her permits and ready, are all set in order. I'm also going to have a petting zoo this year at Juneteenth, with goats, the silky chickens, and pony rides for the kids. So, so
This
so
is just amazing, Empress. This is like, you're awesome. I can't believe you put this all together.
don't ask me how. Don't ask me how, but it's just like, I kind of take like I used to like Becky, I don't even want to hear Juneteenth till like February, March, because it takes me like 8 months to recover. But I mean, like I said, this year is definitely gonna be bigger than last year. I'll be going to 2022 News. What's it called? That show? Mass Appeal.
Yes, Mass Appeal.
Mass Appeal. Tom from Greenfield Savings Bank, because they've been a consistent sponsor for me for 3 years. And I reached out to Christian because as far as to talk about the murals. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get my time expanded so that we can all go together. So we need Tom and Christian could go together and talk about the whole event for the day. So, everywhere I go, I definitely bring Greenfield with me. I believe in my community. I believe in my city. I believe in my young people. I believe in the old people. I just believe in us. So I promote that and I stay true to that. And anybody who talks to me would think I was born and raised in Greenfield. The way I promote Greenfield, but I definitely love where Greenfield is, and I do my part to basically show people this is who we are, this is where we're at. So, and I'll just continue that.
Yeah. I think the ceremony sounds fantastic. And the thing I think I love the most about it is you've really infused both this really festive and joyful and entertaining, environment, a lot of cool vendors, along with these really great and in-depth historical components that really reinforce, why we're all reflecting on Juneteenth and what really matters. So it sounds fantastic. I'm not surprised at all that you're putting all these great things together, and I'm really happy to see the Franklin County Chamber is involved in it. Jesse always doing great work for the region.
Mhm. Definitely, but just like last year, this year I am extending an invitation for if HRC would like to pass out any kind of information. Where our HRC shirts? I'm not gonna lie, I won't be wearing mine. But I'm saying, if we want to set up, if the HRC would like to set up a table, put out some information, maybe Quinn, we can start promoting the environmental justice, because if Juneteenth is June and the panel discussion is July, we can start passing out those pamphlets.
Yeah, I would love to set up a table and like have that thing going. Sounds perfect.
All right, so I already had HRC on my list, so I just double check it. So all right, yeah. So that's where we're all that's where we are. So yeah. And that's all I had to bring about that. Anybody else have anything to say? Any new business, any old business before we close out? No, Becky will miss you.
Thank you all so much. And
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely check you out on GCTV, and I'll be back up in Greenfield. Like I said, I've lived here for more than 20 years. So you haven't seen the last of me.
I hope not.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I can't wait. I can't wait to come to Juneteenth and see all that.
April 13th is first.
That's right.
You'll get the text message.
That's right.
All right. So if nobody else
All
has
right.
anything to add, we're going to close down the meeting at 18:52.
I'll just do a quick roll call. Empress,
Yes.
Lance,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Quinn,
Yes.
Grady,
Yes.
All right, we're officially adjourned. Have a great night, everyone.